it's Lloyd Knows. Welcome to the Healthy Music Diet Podcast, episode 14. Wow, time's going by real quick. I remember when I first started, it felt like it was maybe 2-3 weeks ago. But now we here, how Drake said, started from the now, yeah. So, yes, I just want to welcome my new listeners and say welcome back to all the old ones who's been here with me since day one. Appreciate it. And I might have had a little red Moscato chilling in me real quick. So, I'm feeling a little nice. You know the vibes. So for this week's music news, if you follow me on Instagram at LloydKnows_podcast, you would have seen my post where I put up a post about Drake and how he broke the most top 10 Billboard record ever. He passed Madonna. Madonna had 38, but DJ Khaled hit him with 2 assists. Not 1, but 2, because 1's too close to none. So Drake, he had Pop Star, and then he had Grease. Honestly, I made a video too. If you follow me on YouTube, you would have seen me giving my speculation about what's going on with these 2 DJ Khaled songs with Drake, because he was teasing it. So I gave my own commentary towards it. And when it came out, I was kind of lackluster. People said, "Oh, it was cool. They liked it. Some people liked it." Grease, from the first listen, it wasn't really my thing. I'm just it is what it is. And Popstar was the better track of the 2. But I didn't even go back to the songs, to be honest. I'm just okay, DJ Khaled, it is what it is. But I did like To The Max off of what is it? I don't think it was Khaled's recent, but the second latest album where he had To The Max. He's to the right. That song was fire, but for some reason it never popped off like a pop star. Yeah, so and now that brings into the conversation, is Drake really the GOAT? But then you're gonna have to break it down and deconstruct that sentence. Is Drake the GOAT in what respective category? Pop? Pop is popular music. So I would say, in my opinion, honestly, I don't think Drake is the GOAT. Because right now, the person who's coming to my mind, who's doing numbers, way bigger numbers than Drake right now, is Dua Lipa. And she is killing it right now, but Drake has been more consistent. So he's done it over a 10-year, over in a decade. And Dua's been killing it probably in the last two years, that she's been really taking over the mainstream. But people in the hip-hop culture don't really care, but in the masses, people listen to Dua Lipa. But I don't think she have garnered that fan base where it's a cult following, because you had those Drizzy Drake fans crazy. Whatever Drake do, they're checking it out immediately. But I feel Dua Lipa, if I'm comparing both of them, because they're the first 2 artists that I think of when I think of the mainstream that's doing crazy 50 million monthly listeners on Spotify. And I feel there's a machine behind Dua and Drake, but you can see the machine more with Dua because you don't really see her personality in her music, but you can see it in a sense with Drake. Even though when I went to Toronto and I was with a shorty, and she told me about how her uncle worked for Drake, and she went to not a concert, but one of Drake's clubs in Toronto, and she met Drake, and she said he was kind of fake. No, not kind of, he was fake, or maybe it's just the perception. Usually you don't know who that person is over the internet or through music. They let you see who they want you to see. So with me, I can put on a persona and say, okay, I'm this type of crazy guy, but if you see me in real life, I'm just a calm, collected person. And that ties into like that whole Ellen the DeGeneres situation currently, where like now everyone's saying, yo, Ellen's a bitch, she's like an asshole, and like she really picks on people in the workplace. But when you see her on TV, she dancing. Well, she's attempting to dance. I'm not gonna say she's dancing. Like I will give her a 10 out of 10 NBA slam dunk if we're trying to compare dancing. But yeah, so like you think that this person's good because of the perception they put out, but when you meet them in person, they're a nasty person. So dang, I just really went, I feel like I just like tied like shoes, and I got myself into a knot, and I'm trying to like untie myself, but I just really can't, because I did like some exquisite trying to be fancy, and I just tied myself, so I just lost my train of thought of what I'm gonna what I was trying to convey with this whole Drake situation. Oh, with Dua Lipa. Yeah, with Dua Lipa. So like you can see the machine behind Dua more than Drake. You're like, okay, Drake is just Drake, but when you listen to like Dua, you're like, okay, you don't really know who she is per se, but you just see like she's everywhere. You're like, what's that about her that makes her be everywhere? Or maybe I just don't hang out with the right people, even though this is the Healthy Music Diet podcast where I explain the music palette one track at a time. So yeah, you know the vibes. Like we out here. And Drake, yeah, I would say he's the GOAT in respective to, actually no, I said he wasn't, but maybe over a decade for a run, because he's been having like a Ja Rule run. Actually no, he didn't. I think his Ja Rule run ended probably 2-3 years ago, because he had that demo Lane's tape that came out and no one talked about any tracks. Like the first week you're gonna have people checking it, because that's the same thing that happened last week with Heady One of my favorite UK drill artists. Like you already know, or if you're a new listener, you'll probably see if you check in later on tracks. So Drake and Heady, they have a new song called Something Something Freestyle. And no, I did talk about it last week. Yeah, I did. That junk was garbage. Bloody hell, mate. Like this shit was trash. Like trash. And yeah, because like Drake wasn't giving off like, yo, I'm this UK man, them. Like I'm with the man, them. Yeah, we gon' do our little thing. Yeah, you on a ramp with us. Like I wasn't getting that like, yo, like that, like yo, he might be a gunman or a knife man, because in England they have like a knife stabbing problem because they pretty much ban guns. Yeah, and Drake was trying to give off that vibe, and it's like, nah, bro, you weren't. It was a horrible thing. But Heady, he did his thing, but currently he has 15,000 plays when I checked today. On it from last week, it was like at 5. But that's just like the Drake stimulus package. It's nothing like too crazy. It's like, it is what it is. But I feel like, cause see, that's what proves his GOATness. The ba, like that's the ba, cause he command within like a 2 week, or not even 2 week, a week cycle, 15 million listens on a track. And Heady at the time had like 1 million listeners, even though he dropped my favorite track so far. Well, like my top 20, no, actually not top 20, top 10 favorite songs this month. Rose Gold, he dropped that I think like last month or whatever. And that song is heat. And then he dropped that blank blank, like I'm playing Hangman, I don't even know, freestyle or Wheel of Fortune. Let's go. Yeah, I like to take a consonant. But yeah, like it wasn't a good track, but just the fact that it's Drake, he sold people the thought of going to check out that song. So That's what I'll give to Drake. So that's actually I changed it. Yeah, so that's why he's the GOAT. Over the decade long run, he's the GOAT. Like no one's putting up numbers like Drake. That's why I think he should just go independent and do it himself. But I feel like he's making so much money in so many different avenues that he doesn't care. Like he can lose that money, because I went to school for finance. So I'm thinking about it. Okay, he might lose like 30 million. Depends on his taxable. I think this dude's in Calabasas or in Canada. In Canada, it's crazy with the taxes. I don't know their tax rate. But California, I'm not in California, but I think when I was listening to another podcast, one of the reasons why Joe Rogan left to move to Texas, because of like the tax rate, and it's in quarantine. So why am I gonna pay like my $100 million deal? And then I think they said the tax rate, the income tax is like 15%. So Drake makes like 30, will be equivalent to 10% 3, and then like, so like 5 million, 30, so he'll take home like 25 on a 15% tax rate. But still, like, why would you want to put yourself like through that? Damn, I'm really out of, like, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, independent. So yeah, so like Drake should, but he's probably like, I could lose that 5% and have them, the record label, do all the heavy lifting instead of me having to sign somebody off. Then I have to hire a manager, even though over time it will work out cheaper. But I feel like maybe Drake's coming towards his life cycle. Actually, no, we should talk about that, because like in the 80s and like the 90s, you have like those one-hit wonders or those bands that had a streak. Like I'm wondering when it's like Nicki Minaj, Drake, all these other artists are gonna just like end their like pretty much quote unquote like music career and just tour like the Doobie Brothers like do, and like Metallica. I don't know if Metallica dropped a new album. I don't know. I don't really care. But like I know they tour a lot, but they stopped now. I think they had like their final tour. So I'm wondering like when is their time? But then now I'm thinking about, okay, the 90s, 80s and back, you were confined and reliant on the record label. So now that you're on the internet, where you don't need a gatekeeper to go and process your music and say whether or not it's good or not, you can just put it out. So now I feel like people can just have a longevity. Oh, I'm feeling to drop a track and so. And now that turns into another topic where I posted on actually I didn't. I read the post, but I didn't want to post it because I just didn't think that a lot of people would care for it. But the Spotify CEO said that musicians can't be happy about how much they're getting paid if they haven't been putting out music in the last three years. So you can't just rely on, I have a 5-year-old album and discography to the point where I'm just going to let that eat. Of course, you're not going to be generating as much money over time. Then you're going to try to sue these streaming services over it. And I think like the CPM is like $3 per thousand. I think, because I remember, no, it's $6 like per million. It's either between 5 to 6,000. So over time, if you get for a million views, it's like 5 to 6. So now you're getting 5 to 6, but over time, if you're not putting out new music, you might start losing and start dwindling. That 6,000 a month is gonna start dwindling into like 30, like 550. Get the 5, and then now you're just like, okay, what am I gonna do? Because you're not touring. But now we live in that age where you don't really need a record label. You can just put out music and go and try to make up that gap in income and just try to make it, especially during quarantine. You're definitely not going to be touring. No one's going to be diving off into the crowd like Tory Lanez. You shitting me? Like, no. If you're a musician right now, you better start putting out music like Russ, because his music ain't catching Russ anytime soon. This dude is like a rapid fire. Yeah, like Cruel Santino, if you watch my YouTube video, even though I do talk about him. But I feel like I already went overboard with this whole Drake and then tied it into like the Spotify CEO comments on artists. So that shows you how much Drake has been producing at a high level for over a decade. So let's go and dead that here. And then the next, even though I haven't heard the album for this next artist in the news, but Taylor Swift, she doing numbers. She did 715, like a 50, like a, not even a 30, like a 50, 750. Yes, but like that could be an area code. She's doing area code numbers. Think about that. She's doing an area code. I don't know. Her fans are like crazy, and like the crazy part is, this isn't even just like hard album sales. Like this is just streams, and she just magically just threw out folklore. And I think that's the name. Yeah. Out of the blue, like she Beyonce, and I don't even know how much Beyonce did with that album that had Drunken Love. That joke was fire. Drunken Love. Yeah, but 750, that's crazy. She doing like Southern California area code numbers. Like that's different. Good for her. So that just proves to you that like Taylor Swift, she's on a different type of time. Her fans are out there, and a lot of artists are doing like 30,000, 50,000. So I think they charge like an album like $10. So she did $7.5 million in the first week, and that's not even continuously. She's probably going to be doing that whole album if it just keeps streaming at this level. Pretty much these people are going to still be playing it, because like the white girls from my college, I'll be seeing them on Snap and they bumping this album. So she gonna do in total next week, well the end of this next week, it's gonna be probably like 15 million total sales, and then another probably 15. So this album's gonna gross like 30 million. And I think she's independent because she was in a contract dispute with Big Machine over like, they finessed her, they got her on some like slave contract, and I think she's up, but she's trying to get her I think masters back. So that just proves to you the power of just ownership. And I will be making a video. It will be coming out this coming week, matter of fact, yeah, because I'm getting the like information to be talking about artists and how they should take a lesson from like Latino artists, because a lot of them are killing it on like that high level. Like they're doing Drake numbers right now. We're not talking about like 2012 to like 2015 back to back Drake numbers, but like they're doing numbers similar to Drake, and they're not even like signed to a label. Like they're in a partnership, so they're getting a bigger piece of that pie. Yes, that nice apple pie. I'm not on that peach cobbler. I need a nice like apple pie with some cinnamon. You know the vibe. Yeah, so yeah, Taylor Swift, she doing her thing. I heard like probably like a minute of one of her songs. I forgot, but it wasn't bad. And this song just reminded me, like the whole album reminded me of Justin Timberlake when he was on like that, I'm on that R&B shit, and then he wanted to get back to his roots. I didn't even listen to that Mountain Hilly Billy, I'm gonna drink a Bud Light, even though that does sound delicious right now, like album. And now he's back to his R&B roots, and now how Taylor Swift was like doing pop. People saying, oh, she's not really country, and now she's not even going country, she going folk. Like she's going deep country. Well, just from that name, I haven't even listened to the album, so I can't even really tell you what type of genre per se it is. But yeah, Taylor Swift, the local team, you know the vibes. Yeah, so I had to take a short intermission to get something to drink because I was feeling very parched. I felt like I was in Egypt without seeing the pyramids. Like what is it, like the fourth wonder of the world or fifth? I forgot. It feels like Pokemon, honestly, when you think about like the 7 wonders of the world. Like you got to collect these gem badges, Like, which one do you start off with? Like, do you start off with like the rock type, the water type, and then you go to like the electric, and then like the wind? Sorry, that's just Lloyd thoughts. But yeah, so we're gonna get into the next portion. For those who know, it's the album review. So this portion for new listeners is where I listen to an album. It's usually not a project that you most likely know of, but it's for you to try to dive deep into, like, okay, let me go check it out, so let me expand my music knowledge. But probably you heard of this guy, but I'm pretty sure you didn't listen to the project. So this week's album review is for Oliver Tree and his project Ugly is Beautiful. And for this project, there was a whole bunch of backstory that went on. That he went on Anthony Fantano, or the Needle Drop. His slogan's like, "Oh, the busiest music nerd on the internet." And he spoke about his label issues and all the bullshit that was attached to releasing this project. How he had to get like 1 million followers on Instagram, and then a label said, "Oh no, get 2 million." He's like, "Yo, are you shitting me?" So I think he's at like 1.5 now, but then they just finally released it. He said he wants to get out of his record deal, or if not, he's just not going to release music, and he's just going to focus on directing films for movies or short films on some, what's the name of the shorty that made Girls? I forgot, Lena Dunham on that, or one of the Franco brothers, because he was in, I think, like Apollos. Not Apollo, some other short. He be making a lot of indie films, so I think Oliver Tree is gonna be going down that route eventually. So we gotta stay tuned for that. But back on to the album Ugly is Beautiful. So the first song is like Me, Myself, and I, and it's kind of like a rock, not kind of, but it is a rock like song. There's like no 808s. It's not any hip hop influence. It's on some like Andrew WK, 3 Day. Nah, 3 Day Grace is way more like hard rock or whatever the genre is. I forgot. I can't keep track. But it's like a college tune. So like if college kids want like a song for like a darty, yeah, this is really darty music. You can just play this because it's not late night. Late night, you're gonna be coming on like Drake and a whole bunch of other like mainstream top 40. But the song achieves what it's meant to achieve. It's like the first song on the album, so it's not trying to be a heavy hitter. It's supposed to like lead off how I like to do baseball analogies. It's not supposed to be like, yo, I'm coming out swinging. It's like, all right, I'm gonna warm you up. I'm gonna get you a little nice. I'm not gonna put you in the microwave for like 2 minutes. I might put you on for 45. Yeah, you know, like get you nice. I'm not gonna get you like, I can't eat it. I gotta blow on it. I'm like, nah, I'm not like that. So like, yeah. So Me, Myself, and I. It's a little tune. Like it's a little tune. But my favorite track is up next, 1993 off the album. And this one is more like EDM. Like I could see this being played at Ultra, but I think Ultra is done now. They had like a thing where they just like stop now, just like Warped Tour, even before it, Who Should Not Be Named. I think they were already in the works of just stopping the events, because I think Ultra had too many people wilding out, jumping over fences, being animals and shit. But yeah. Nah, this is like very EDM. I just love the chorus on it. And it has another guy named featuring Little Ricky ZR3. Honestly, he could have been left off the track. It didn't really enhance it in my opinion. He was just like talking. He sounded like the guy from Red, Green, and Yellow. The green dude, the black guy in it. But they had like the distort voice that sounds very digital, but it wasn't really, his part wasn't really hidden. I would have rather have like another Oliver not chorus, but verse, just to end off the song. I don't know, just like the chorus on it is just my favorite thing on it. But the chorus only comes on once because it's, I think, like like a 2 minute and 30-second song, so there isn't really much to be working with on it. But yeah, definitely check that song out. That's one of my favorite songs on it. And then the next song on it is Cash Machine. It didn't really do much for me per se. It was like I don't really know. It's like an acoustic expression that Oliver was doing. It was no hip hop in it. It was giving me like We the Kings vibes. Like when I was in 6th grade and I was trying to impress a girl. I was like, oh, I listen to We the Kings. And I ain't listen to them until I listened to them like during the MySpace days. Nah, We the Kings is fire. I remember I bought their like first album on like the iPod, like when the official iPod Touch came out. Yeah, it was like my first iTunes purchase. Bought the whole album, like that Check Yes Julie, Skyway Avenue. I think Shut Up Liar, man. That was a good time. That was like my little emo phase growing up. But like back to Cash Machine, it's okay. I really like it. Matter of fact, it reminds me more of Foster the Kids. It was like an attempt to recreate a Foster the People's song, but like it was a filler. It was like the third song. I don't know why they put it in there, but it was one of the singles leading up to the album, and it just didn't do anything for me because I remember this coming out and it just never happened. It just never did anything for me. And I remember another single came out before that was leading up to the album, and I added it to the playlist. I forgot which one was it. I think it was like Bury Me Alive. I think that's the name of this track. I don't remember, but yeah, Cash Machine wasn't really good. And like Let Me Down, the fourth song on the album, it's like a 1 minute and 50-second song. Another like college song, but not really well done, where I can see a lot of college kids listening to it but not playing it in front of their friends, if you get what I mean. Like it's like a track. It's kind of like Pitbull. Like his songs, for me personally, I would rather listen to it by myself. No, actually hear it. I'd rather hear it out instead of having it on my Spotify or iTunes or Apple Music. Yeah, I would not put that, but just the inverse, where you rather hear this track instead of hearing it out, unless someone else throws it on. But all right, I can jam to it, but I'm not going to be the first one to take the initiative to play this track. It's a quick track, and it's just saying, please don't let me down. Nothing exciting about it. No bass in the track. It's like a lot of like guitar, like rock pop, I would say so far throughout the album. And then Miracle Man, I'm just gonna skip over that. I don't want to even touch it. I didn't really like it. Yeah. Oh yeah, but Bury Me Alive, no, that song was fire. Like fire. It's not my favorite from 1993 on the album. And there's other songs on the album that I enjoyed more than 1993, but they were from like 2018 or 2019, a year plus old, so I don't really count them. Those are just fillers to like boost their first week's stats, so those are disassociated. If it's under a year, I would pretty much compare the two. So like Bury Me Alive, it was like a lot more rapping. It's giving me like that Beastie Boys vibes from like the 90s, because he's not really rapping like like Zone 6 from like Atlanta, or like West Coast or New York rap. It's just like Beastie Boys, like white boy rap. I'm gonna like spit some verse, but it's not gonna come off hard. But it's like a mixture of like EDM, not really EDM, like actually no, Beastie Boys. That's the best analogy for it, because I'm trying to think of like what EDM artist did a lot of rap, and I'm thinking of what's that dude name? He was black, and he had that song called Bricks with the Migos. forgot his name, bro. It's been like forever. That was from like the I'm Smack days, like my freshman year of college and like senior year of high school when I was more like deep into EDM. I was listening to like Dubs. Who else? I forgot. There was a lot of EDM tracks. I missed those days. Those days were lit. And then you had like Nero. I think that was more like junior year, sophomore year of high school. Like Doomsday. I still have those songs on my iTunes. And then looking back on my iTunes account, when I'm signed into my Apple account, and then just preloaded it where I can just stream all my songs I bought. I'm like, damn, I bought like 1,000 songs. Like, it's kind of sickening. Like, jeez, if I knew where music was going. But then again, too, I got my money's worth, because I played the shit out of them. I played them way more than what it was. So it is what it is. And then Alien Boy's up next, and everyone pretty much, if you know Oliver Twist, I said Oliver Twist. Like, Mom, may I please get some more porridge? Like, no. But like, yeah, Alien Boy. That's one of my favorite tracks by him. This is a really big college tune. I think I've heard this played in one of my college parties at least once or twice. I think this came out like 2018, but I don't really associate this song as earlier that I stated. This is more of just to pad up the first week sales, because I guess they count other old songs like how French Montana would have like, what is it, Unforgettable from like 2017 on his like 2019 album. Like, bro, why are you putting a 2-year-old song on your project? But the Alien Boys track, it really embodies that out of the world extraterrestrial vibe to the track, which really gravitated me towards Oliver Tree. So I'll definitely say like this is one of the top tracks, one of the old tracks that's on the project. So definitely, if you have not heard Alien Boy, that's a must. And then there's Joke's on You, and that track, after re-listening to it, it's up in my top like 3-4 songs off this album, with like 1993 and then like Alien Boy, because it embodies like the rap. He raps in it, and then he still does his like EDM, and then put a little like a dabo, but a little pop on it, throw a little pop in it, and like spice it up a little bit to make it palatable to like the mainstream, which I really like, because like the first half is like rap, and then he transitions more into like EDM pop. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. There's no 808s. I noticed, yeah, Oliver Tree doesn't really use 808s in his tracks, but he still does his little rap thing. How many songs are on this album? Let me check. Yeah, 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let me skip through some of these. Yeah, Jerk on it. Yeah, I'm trying to skim through this, not waste your time. Like, Jerk is okay. If you are listening to the album in full, definitely just listen to it. Waste My Time was a waste of time. This track was not it. And then and again, yeah, don't make this be an against track to be playing. And then he added Hurt to boost up the sales, because that song came out, I think, in 2019. Fire song. If you're acquainted with Oliver Tree, you'll definitely know Hurt. That's one of his top songs. Just like the whole chorus, like, I forgot the words. You know me, I don't know the lyrics of the song. Oh, baby, it was you who was fucking up. Like, but when he added his whole production to it, it's on fire. And I can really sing. You don't want me to sing, because I'm going to get signed to Interscope. I'm going to be on my Tyrese, on my Raheem Devon. Be on singing my love songs. And then he has I'm Gone, which is a good ending song for like the album. Yeah, it's a good ending. Yeah, it's gone, thankfully, 14 songs, damn, bro, that's a lot. But thinking about it, for like a 10, if like streaming for an album's like $10, it's a good value per se. Yeah, this is like really like 2000s, like pop, not pop, 2000 like rock pop, and then I'm hearing like a little influences like screamo, but not like the singing part, but just like the instrumentals of like what screamo's about. Whereas like a heavy guitar and different distortions on the frets. But you'll definitely like it, and it's like another college track. Like I was saying, Oliver Tree is like a really, like, I don't know what it's not really, but he's a college kid artist in my opinion. People out of school would probably be like, what the hell? His aesthetic, he's pretty much a meme. He wears like the same clothes, like a Patagonia. It looks like a Patagonia ski jacket. Or if you've seen Angélie, the French singer, she had one of her songs with Romeo, Elvis, and they were in like one of those ski jackets. And he'd be in California wearing a ski jacket with like some bell bottoms. I'm like, yo, bro, this dude's a joke. Because I remember first hearing about him on the H3 podcast. But when I checked out his tracks, I'm just like, yo, this dude's nice. He's more than what I expected him to be. He has like that Mandark haircut. But yeah, so overall, Ugly is beautiful. I give it like an 8, solid 8. I'm giving it a rookie score. It's a solid 8. Or on the Sazón scale, how I'm gonna start doing, like, what's the Sazón scale? It's an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a 8. It's like no double. I'm not gonna sprinkle nothing to give it a little bit more on it, like an 8.1. Nah. It's a solid 8 in my opinion. But if you don't like it, it might bump it down to like a 7.6, 7.4. If that's not really your taste, but you will still appreciate the production and the amount of effort put into this track. So yeah, so definitely check out Ugly is Beautiful by Oliver Tree. So I had to record the second half of the podcast the next day because my neighbors were pretty much having a party, blaring music throughout my gym, which is like the most quiet place. But for some reason this time around, it just bled through. So yeah, if the audio or like the pitch of the of my voice is different, then you know why. But yeah, so I'm gonna still get into it. That's not going to throw me off. Matter of fact, it should probably get me even more energized now to put on a better performance for you all. So let's get into it. So our artist spotlight for this episode is one of my favorite artists. Let me see. During the period of freshman year of college, until like the end of sophomore year, for like 2 years, I was just watching, or from like 2015 and a half to like 2017. I've been watching this dude, well, not watching, but like following his journey, because he's from Canada and he like blew up in a sense, but for some reason he never manifest his opportunity. But I just feel like I just want to share to you guys who this artist is and his music. And yeah, check him out. Like, check out his old stuff. It's pretty funny but catchy at the same time. So the artist this week is no other than Ram Riddles. You're like, Ram who? Yeah, Ram Riddles. He's a Canadian artist from, I keep messing up the name. When I went to Toronto, I had to pass by. It's like the neighboring city. It was like Mississauga, I think, is it? Like Mississauga? Yeah, Mississauga, Canada. I think Party Next Door is from there. Yeah, so he's from there. And Ram, he makes like hip hop and I would say like dancehall. Or maybe like the beginning half of his career, it was like dancehall, but it was like his own spin on it. Because he's Egyptian from what I remember. His parents are from Egypt. But he got entranced into dancehall culture, so is very evident in his like early progression of music up to like 2017, 2018. You can hear a lot of dancehall influences in the tracks. And the first song that actually got my attention was a song called Sweeter Man. But matter of fact, it was Drake's remix, and I was gonna touch upon that, but I guess it's gonna come early now. Pause. Sweeter Man, Drake made a remix to Ram Riddle's song, but I never even knew that. It was on SoundCloud. It was smooth until I did more research, or when I found out about Ram, then I realized he had a song called Sweeter Man. I'm just like, wait, what? That sounds familiar to what Drake put out, but see, that's the influence and power of Drake. Drake can take your song and make everyone think it's his when it was actually yours. So like Sweeter Man was like the first song that Ram put out that actually blew him up in Toronto or in Canada. And I think it was at his friend's like family's mansion when the parents were gone, and they just threw a party, and then they had the music video for it. But yeah, it's really smooth. Like this one is super smooth. And then he had his EP P2P, which was good. It was a good starter. If you look at the artwork, you'll know what it's referring to. It was a cool one. It was a cool one. What were some of my favorite tracks off of that? Pineapple Crush was good. Oh, and he has the Sweeter Man on P2P. But the album that came out, or probably just EP, it's a 10 track. I don't think I will constitute that as an album until like 12 songs. But now the Venus from 2016, that EP was the best. Like they got Left Right, which was fire. Like it's just mad funny. Like he's mad funny. Like if you listen to his music, I forgot. Wait, what's a catchy line? He has so many one-liners. No, I'm just thinking about one of his other albums, but it was more of a love song. Like every time I forgot now. It's not that. Oh my god. I might put it up on my Instagram if I find out a better one-liner, but I just can't come to mind right now. But if you listen to Ram's songs, he always have a one-liner, multiple one-liners in it. Be like, yo, what the hell? Oh no, it's coming to mind. She said something like, oh, is she calling me her X-Man? But I'm not like Logan or something. It was so funny. The delivery on it. Like he could be a comedian. In all honesty, he should have been doing YouTube. I could have seen him having a vlog like Sneeko, but in Canada, blow it up. Because when I was in Canada, in Toronto, which I need to go back, I was with like a shorty, and we were just chilling in the hotel with like other friends, and I was like, yo, which artists are like the big name local talent that everyone raves about? And they said like Party. I'm surprised at the time no one really played Tory Lanez music in the clubs. Like no, it was just straight Drake. No one gave a shit about Roy Woods. It was like Drake, that's it. And then like Meat Mills and American music. But yeah, she said Ram Riddles. I think she said Roy Woods too, but I remember it's like Party and like Ram and Drake. So I'm like, okay, so that means Ram got some clout, but I forgot where I'm going with this. But yeah, so Ram, so he had like that big buzz with this like one line, mad funny. He used a lot of like Toronto Canadian slang in it. And what else? Oh yeah, off of Venus, like Left Right was cool. Then he had a music video for, what's the name of it? 1 second, let me look for it. Call Me, that's not on it. But he linked it to Hey Mr. Ramrod. That's on the EP. And that music video was fire, some Jamaican shit, and it had some other Jamaican guy named Nemesis. He's not like a big name Jamaican artist, but I guess he collabs with more foreigner artists than Jamaican, homegrown. But yeah, then you have Badman, which Badman was the real song that took Ram to like where he is today. Cause Sweeter Man was cool, but like Drake pretty much took it for his own. And then in interviews when they were asked about the OVO cosign, he doesn't like to answer on it. You know what? I might hit him up and try to get him on the podcast so I can like talk to him about it. Or maybe not even just about the Drake, but just to have him give his own insight on his career. Because I'm pretty sure I will really like it. And then, H2O. When you do listen to him, listen to H2O, but watch the music video. Mad funny. It has like a lot of Canadian, like not YouTubers, not Instagram stars. And like the first like minute and a half is like a whole skit where he's like, you gotta be wetter than water. It was just so funny. And just like the song, it's just too smooth. Oh, I get it wetter than water. Dihydrogen monoxide. Yo, you cannot beat that. It's a whole summer vibe. Coolin'. Dang, man, this quarantine the Roni just needs to like let us get back to life. And then he has another song with Movado, but that was on SoundCloud. I forgot the name of it because I'm looking on Spotify and it's not coming up. Yeah, I forgot. Was it like Sauce God or something like that? Yeah, I think it was like Sauce. No, that's Super God with the Goku Black picture. Then he has I can never pronounce it. What is that? Habisha or Habisha, where she's like, I got an East Indian African something. Too smooth. I remember like people I would not expect to be playing this song was bumping this song. They're like, yeah, we found it. It's just mad catchy. I'm like, oh word, like Ram doing this thing. He's getting that exposure out there. And then with that, he went to release his like album. What is it? Sweeter Dreams. And honestly, I think he waited a year too late because his whole like momentum was like in 2015 to 16. And once he dropped Venus, it felt like he should have dropped it 6 months later. Because actually no, it wasn't later. I'm just looking at the release date. He dropped it in August 17th, 2017. And I remember me and my bro were talking and we said, yo, he should have dropped this in like May. Because now his music is a summertime, like, yo, you're gonna get lit during the summertime. You can't be playing this like August 17th, like we were in college, like, bro, we about to be in college in the next 2 weeks. Like, it's not the same, like, it's not like a college vibe song or like a mainstream song you can just throw on at a party. Like Ram, like he's a whole mood, like that's a summer thing. Like you go to the beach with your boys and your friends and you having a good time, whipping it, windows down and everything. But yeah, so I think that's what messed up his career. He released it like 2-3 months too late. But Worst Love was one of my favorite tracks on it. You was my worst love, my first love, to my first love. Yo, fire. Then he has Woke Up. Woke Up was funny. He's like, woke up, what the fuck you attitude? Woke up feeling good this morning. It was stupid funny. And I was surprised he had what's his name? I'm trying to Scotch Bonnet. Yeah, he had Tommy Lee Sparta from Jamaica. I'm like, wait, Tommy Lee's on a Rams Riddle song with Scotch Bonnet, which is like a Jamaican seasoning. No, it's not Scotch. No, that's the pepper. The pepper Scotch Bonnet. Yeah, and then he has a song called No Amor, like Mi Amor, she said she don't love me no more. Mi Amor. No, yo, it's so fun. Like, he just doesn't take it serious, which was what made him blow up, but then he kept continuing not to take his career too serious. And then he had millions of views, and now currently he has like 190,000 monthly listeners. Like, I think he fucked up his career, and then he dropped Ram Reaper in 2019, which I'll say only had like maybe one song that I liked, which was like One More Wine on it, and he was using all that like pagan with the horns. It looked really like demonic shit, like he was trying to be on Demon Time, but I don't know, I wasn't fucking with that shit at all. But I'm feeling like he's gonna come out with another project. Hopefully he can like restore his career, because he had all like the hype. The ceiling for him was like I don't think he would have been like super mainstream. Like, oh, I'm gonna be on like the radio playing 24/7 in like the States, but I know in Canada supposedly I think they were playing him. But I know he would have been a big enough where he can get like he can average 1 or 2, sustain that for a couple years. But all right, this dude has like a big enough fan base that he doesn't need super mainstream play, but he can garner a really strong fan base. But it feels like no one's really checking for him because he only has 190K right now. So it's like, yo, that's dwindling. That's a lot of people still, but that's not really, if you look at the grand scheme of what Spotify is, that's like, I don't know, very low percentile. So I think that's what stopped his career, just him not taking it serious and mistiming on the Sweeter Dreams. That's what I would say killed it, because I didn't think it was it was fire. Like, me and my bros were enjoying it, and I was waiting for it to come out during the summertime. Then I just forgot about it, and my boy hit me up. I think it was his twin brother. He hit me up on IG like, yo, Ram just dropped the album. I'm like, wait, what? I was checking for it for forever, and then it just popped out of the blue. I'm like, bro, just save that for next year. But then I think he would have really went cold, or he could have just kept putting out singles off of it. But yeah, that's it for Ram Riddles. Like, definitely check out his songs. Like, it's really entertaining. It's super funny, but catchy at the same time. Peace. I mean, not peace, but yeah, that's just the end of that portion. I'm forgetting how to transition it real quick. I'm not done with the episode, as you can see with the time marker. And for the final portion of the episode, we're getting back into the playlist section, where if you're new, each week I pick songs, maybe 10, but probably shorter, and I talk about them, and I add them actually to my playlist on Spotify that's associated with the podcast. So you can find it for everyone. Again, you can find the playlist for the season 1 at the Healthy Music Diet podcast season 1. Just search that and you should find the playlist on Spotify. And I add every song from episode 1 up to 14 currently. So now there's only one playlist, because earlier I had I made a new playlist for each episode, and it can get kind of cumbersome. Like, wow, how do I weed out and know which one's which? So why not make it a central location and have you just pick which songs you like out of it? And I might make a community one once it gets bigger, and probably in a couple months maybe, so we can all just bounce ideas off each other. But like this week's playlist, I don't know, like the last 2 weeks wasn't really hitting, and usually I would be looking forward to like the New Music Friday playlist on Spotify, because then that can help me find some songs. Like, I'll pick maybe 1 or 2 songs off of it, and then even too, I'll do conduct my research on finding new music by looking on that, because they have like mainstream, then they have other people, I guess, who got positions in it, and you can like find it and then go and find other artists through it. So it wasn't really helping me. I'm just like, wow, I don't feel that inspired to add any of these songs on it. Like, they had the Taylor Swift, she was controlling it, but I'm just like, bro, I don't care, and everyone probably heard it already. So it's like me preaching to the choir, and I don't want to do that. I want to be shouting out into the street so everyone can hear me and they can form their own opinion on the music. So like this week's playlist, the songs weren't bad, but they were like they were good. Like they still made it. I'll say it was harder to find some songs. It wasn't like, yo, immediately I'm all right, I know what I'm gonna be talking about for the next upcoming episode. It's like, I had to like put in more effort, which I do pretty much for my podcast, but it felt like I was actually looking. Usually music just comes to me. So like for this week, I added 1993, even before I figured out that I was going to do Oliver Tree as his album review, because that was probably like a day or two before the episode. But the week beforehand, I'm like, alright, I really like 1993. So I already talked about it earlier, so that's like the first song on it. So check that out. And then we have a big throwback. Well, not a throwback song, but just a throwback group. Back in like your high school days, if you're around my age, around like 22 to like 24. You would have probably knew about like the new era, pro era days with like Joey Badass, Capital Steez, with My Third Eye. And you would know the group, the Underachievers, who are, I think, from the same borough as Pro Era, because they had like Herb Shuttles, fire song. It's like something, shut up. Oh no, that was fire. It was heat back in the day. I used to be on my Tumblr days. So, yeah. And then for some reason, like, they fell out of obscurity for me. I think, like, in college, I haven't even listened to them really much. I might stumble on a couple of their tracks, but it wasn't like in high school. I'm adding them to my playlists on different streaming services, just bumping out to the Underachievers back on my Third Eye shit. Like I'm Yamcha. No, not Yamcha. Tien. Like I'm Tien. But like they have a new song called Giannis for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Damn, I can't believe I could say that name, but you hear it a lot. I'm like, dang, because there be some white people with some crazy long names or some African names. You'd be like, huh? Like, it's probably easier to freaking tie a cherry with your tongue than actually say those names. But yeah, the song Giannis, it's just a rap song, heavy bass, similar to what the Underachievers normally do. It's more lyricism. It's not really like swag rap, like, oh, I'm just gonna make you feel nice, like, oh, you that dude. Like, no, you gotta actually listen to the song. But it hits. Like the cover art is pretty much Giannis Duncan, but it's just all in black too, and I believe that the song embodies, it's like a dark feeling. There's really no colors in the track at all. Yeah, the track doesn't have any colors on it. So definitely check that out. Oh, and check out Underachiever's previous album with, like, I don't know, it was like a drawing. They had a song called Tokyo Drift. Because when I heard Giannis, I actually checked all their old stuff. It was fire. Like, they're slept on, I'll say. Yeah, they're definitely slept on. Still, like, they were slept on earlier. It looked like people were going to wake up, but they took some more melatonin and fell right back to sleep. And then the next song is by Duckworth. I think I added one of his songs earlier before. If you know Duckworth, he's a artist. I don't know where he's from, but he had his song, or no, his EP from 2017 that blew up called An Extra Ugly Mixtape. That actually put him on the map. But I will say he's very consistent, which I really do enjoy by Duckworth. That he makes quality music. I don't think there was a track from him that I was like super in love with, but it was a really solid track. Like, he makes, in my opinion, like a 7.5 on average. Like how some artists might have like a 10, like Designer with like Panda, and then all this other shit is like lukewarm at a 2. So like, I think he's very consistent. He's a solid artist that I think that has a solid fan base or anything. So for this week, he had a song called Coming Closer, and it has Glam, like the rap group Glam, if you heard of them, because they had a song with Little Kid, Glam, which I like, and Julia Ramona. But this one's more of a dance track, more upbeat tempo. It is giving me like Kilo Kish, if you know who that is. She's this black chick, I think from Cali, back in the day, like 2014, 12 was when she like blew up, and then her songs were all Majestic Casual songs. Since that first when I heard this song, I thought it was Kilo Kish, but it wasn't. It was Julia Ramona. But it's a traditional like rap, like funky. It's not really like funky like Masego or Dom Genesis with Innocent Pack with Dapper. Not that song. It's heat still. But like it's a good song. Would I see this being played at the club? Yeah, I can see it being played at the club. Yeah. So definitely check out Duckworth's song Coming Closer. Well, this is kind of signifying that he's having a new album coming out soon, hopefully by the end of the year. So definitely look out for that and check out all his old stuff beforehand. And next we have the group They, with the period at the end, all caps, with Tinashe, called Play Fight. I think I heard this song because it was promoted on Instagram again. Instagram be knowing me too well. I'm not jacking this because I made a post earlier this week how what's his name, Elon Musk, with his Neuralink company, they're trying to figure out a way to have like a string connect to your brain and it can just stream music like that. I'm like, if they know me so well already, which they're pretty much selling my data to these artists to go put ads and just advertisers, they're gonna be selling your consciousness. Yo, just think about that. This is on some Minority Report. Sooner or later, they're gonna know you're gonna commit a crime before you even do it and put you away, which is crazy. But back to the song Play Fight. It's a nice, like, cute duet with like They and Tinashe. Like, I like how they added some effects that draws out the singing in the notes in the track. And just like the instrumentals are, I'm listening to it again right now. Pretty consistent. It reminds me of like a Trey Songz song. So, yeah, it's a good track. I see why they advertised it. I don't think it got much traction per se. Yeah, 1.2 million. That's all right, but their average listeners are 2.5 million, so it's probably not a track that half the people were looking forward to. But definitely check that one out. And then we got the inverse now, where Tinashe invited them on her track called Hopscotch, but this is the remix. Man, Tinashe, hey, she's fire. Lot of mercy. Oh. But like Hopscotch, I don't know. This isn't what I would think Tinashe would be singing. Well, she's trying to make it any way she can. And this is kind of like she's rapping. It feels kind of like forced. I haven't heard the regular version, but this is just the remix. So the remix made it more digestible for me, per se. And it feels like a Nintendo, like I can play a Nintendo Cube, like the Nintendo Cube or like the Wii. It has like those Wii like you can hear it and it sounds mad digital. They had it like a digital beat into it for the remix, which I really enjoy. I don't think I would go back really to this track like all the time. I might listen to it if it pops up on any of my playlists, which I added it to probably like 2 other playlists just in case. Like, it's alright. Like, it's an alright track, but it's worth being introduced and shared to you guys for this week. So yeah, definitely check out Hopscotch. And then the next track is Get Paid by Aluna from Aluna or George. And it has my girl Jada Kingdom in it. And then there's Princess Nokia also. I don't know why I can't get into Princess Nokia music as well. I don't know. Because I heard her old stuff, which was cool, but it just never pushed me over that hump to convert me into like a fan. And then I remember she was going through like a rock and roll phase, which I did not enjoy. I'm like, bruh, hell no, turn this shit off. Garbage. So then after that, I haven't listened to her like a long time. But this song, Get Paid, is pretty much a remix for Heads High by Mr. Vegas. Heads high, killing with the loan. I wonder how those contracts go, because that's clearly a bite, and that's like intellectual property from like Mr. Vegas, because they're remixing it, but it's in the same cadence and same key. So how do they do? I wonder if they have to clear that. I'm gonna do research. I'm gonna come back to y'all and get that information. Or matter of fact, I'm gonna make a video, so follow me on YouTube or subscribe at Lloyd Knows. But Jada Kingdom, I'm like, Jada, stop getting featured on these songs. Drop a freaking album. Well, she said she's in album mode, almost done. I'm like, yo, girl, I need this. Like, you're like the best Jamaican female rapper or artist, dancehall artist out there. I mean, I love you, Shensia, but lyrically, Jada gon' smoke you. She already did. But nah, I still love Shen. I love Shen. But Shen Yang. Like, it was cool, but I don't know, I just want to hear a new song by Jada Kingdom. Well, she has a song called When that just came out, but it was alright. I want to hear a whole project. And she better not be adding long term, one time. I don't want to hear any of that. I don't want to hear Heavy. I don't want to hear Banana from like 2018. No. But like Get Paid, I don't know. I think Aluna George, that group works better when Aluna's in there than her doing her solo stuff. It's not really connected with me as much. I really enjoy her work when she's in the group more. Because currently right now that song only has like 600,000, but it's still early, but it's past first week. And currently by herself she has like 1.2 million listens currently, so we wonder how that's going to work on it. Like, is it? Because that means like half the people don't even care about it, so good for Luna though. I'll definitely be checking her out for her next project. I'm pretty sure she's gonna drop an EP soon, and I'm probably gonna hit her up to see if she wants to join on the show, because I see her doing like interviews currently right now. Then the next song is by my guy Chronix. Man, I haven't heard Chronix, or I really took note of Chronix in forever. Back when I was trying to get him a roster wave, I think in 2014, when he came out with, what is it, Trouble? Like, here comes trouble, here comes that, yo, Fuego. And he had this song Capture Land off that whole album. Wait, what was it called? Yeah, Dread and Terrible. Fire Chronix. Nah, I just love Chronix, man. Good vibes, everything. Irie. Yeah, he's very mainstream in a sense that people love him, and two, he's independent, so you know he's getting the bag. But you know how they be, those rastas. You know, I, my riches is life, more life. But his new song, Cool as the Breeze / Friday, that's the name of it. It's more upbeat. I'm surprised, because I know Chronix is more like reggae, like roots playing, compared to like, this is more like hip hop mixed with reggae, more for like radio friendly music. And I hope he's doing it, because this is a great song, because I know he's seen how Coffee got that, I was thinking of Rapture now. What is it? Thank God for me, thank God for the journey to earnings. Oh, Toast. So I think he's trying to go during that route to get a radio song, because this seems more colorful than his reggae music. It's like mad colors. When I'm listening to the music, it feels like more different shades of colors, compared to like this song, just super bright. It's like a yellow color, more upbeat, and makes you feel better to yourself. So it's a really nice song. It's a cool song. Go get yourself a Guinness. No, I don't like Guinness. That junk is heavy. Like, I like to drink beer, but I can't drink a Guinness. 1, 2, two. Yeah, I don't like those stouts. But get yourself a Red Stripe. Yeah, you can't just drink some like lager, like Coors for this. Nah, you need something like heavy. Maybe a Guinness, pop a Guinness, or a Dragon Stout. Get lit on that. And check out his other stuff if you never heard Chronix music. Which one was it that I really loved back in the day? 1 second, let me check. Oh, Smile Jamaica, great. Ain't No Giving In, fire. Oh, I know he had another one. It was like some rain. Something with the rain. They don't know. No. I'm trying to look for it. Damn, I don't think it's on here. I think he probably took it off. It was probably on like Rhapsody, on that streaming service, because I remember having it. Fuego. That song. I'll probably link it next time. And then the last song on the playlist for this week is Vampire by Dominic Fike. This was like a last submission. I found it from another Instagram promoted post, and I was trying to find a song because he linked it to his album. He didn't even link this particular song, so I'm going through it quick, and I keep skipping over it, so I had to go through it like 2 times. And like Vampire, it's a mad nice song. The guy Dominic, he looks kind of like, what's that dude name? The comedian who has like that Staten Island movie, Pete Davidson. Yeah, he gives me Pete Davidson vibes. So I know y'all love him. But supposedly he's doing numbers right now. I'm checking. He almost has 10 million monthly listeners. So like, yeah, he's lit right now. I never heard of him because I don't really like listen to like playlists, which is kind of funny because I be making playlists. But still listen to mine, but not like the same like those playlists that you know are paid for by the record labels, and there might be like 10 different playlists, but they all pretty much have the same songs on it. Yeah, but Vampire, it's a dancey song, but it's not really a like party song. This is for, I'm just going to be doing schoolwork, or I'm just cooling out and this is playing in the background. Maybe they can play this track during Halloween. Because he's like, oh, I'm a vampire. I mean, it doesn't go like that. I'm just making fun of it. But nah, it's super. I love the guitar in it. I love the frets, how he's going through like the chord progressions in this song. And like his vocals, it has like a little distortion on it. Pretty catchy. So definitely check out Vampire by Dominic Fike, Fike. I think that's his name, like Mike and Ike by Fike. But thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Healthy Music Diet podcast. I hope you found a track that you enjoyed once you finish listening and going to check on the playlist at the Healthy Music Diet podcast season 1 on Spotify, and go check out the songs that I talked about and listed for this week. And if not, I'll work on it. Just hit me up on Gmail at hmdpodcast@gmail.com, or hit me up on Instagram, in which you should be following me at LloydKnows_podcast to stay up to date with music content and news. So I hope you have a good rest of your week. Peace.